Hello, hello. I think I'm live now. Okay, first of all, uh, things might go wrong on the technical side because I'm using a new stream setup. So I hope they won't go wrong and we're gonna have a great time. So yeah, without further ado, do let me know if everything is alright on your end, and we're gonna be playing today with Tasker. It's been a while since I actually did something in Tasker, so I'm slightly nervous because I'm rusty and I have not rehearsed this at all. So you're gonna be in for a good time. Alright, where are we gonna start? We're going to start with a task, I guess. What we're going to do today, I'll show you what I found in in my Xiaomi phone. So you can see on the screen my Xiaomi Mi 11, and when I was browsing things, I don't remember exactly where it was, somewhere in alarm sections. Let's go to the settings and go alarms. Cannot type. Why cannot type? A sec, sorry. Alarm, sound assistance. I think it was somewhere here. Where it was, or maybe there was a alarm clock app. Maybe that was it. Basically, one of the updates showed me that I can have alarm which is based on your what is it called, weather. So it changes the alarm tone based on weather. It's ingenious. It's a really great concept. However, there is a problem with that because there is not much settings that you can do with it. So they kind of assume that depending on the weather, they're gonna have a different ringtone, but you have no control over what kind of weather, what kind of ringtone. So it's a bit useless. So my idea was to actually compose your ringtones with weather information. So for example, let's assume it's raining outside in the morning, you're waking up at 8, there's a forecast for rain. So instead of having your usual alarm tune, you would have alarm tune that starts with rain. So let's say you have like 10-15 seconds of rain that blends into your alarm tune or alarm tone, music, or whatever you use it. So that way when you wake up you already have this hint what's outside of the window. You'll hear like raindrops from your phone, etc, etc, and then you'll hear your alarm tone. When it's sunny, then you can have some birds chirping, etc. When it's, I don't know, windy, you can have a wind noise before it, and you can set up that dynamically for each weather condition. So this is what we're gonna try to recreate. Let's have a look where that setting is. I think it was somewhere here. Notification before ringing. I've seen this somewhere in like a notes, but I didn't. Oh, weather alarm here. See, weather alarm. But it doesn't give you much information about it. But kind of it will adjust the settings based on that, but it just doesn't give you any information about how it does it. So that's what we're going to do. Now on my website I have obviously a couple of resources already. So if you go to my website first, you'll see that I already have a tutorial about how to play with weather, how to play with Open API, and how to receive the information about the current weather around you, how to format this, and in this case just, you know, how to get a small weather widget for the next couple of hours. And we're going to be basing this profile on this because it's good information, right? And that weather information then gonna be used to define what weather tune or what weather music we're going to set as our alarm. Now I don't remember if we can use Tasker to change the alarm dynamically. However, if we can't, the workaround around this is to actually get files and replace them. So we can have a same file to be replaced with a different some file name to be replaced with a different files. So that way when alarm clock is selecting ringtone alarm, we can substitute this file with different files with different sounds, right? So that is our plan. And we also have a ability to sync up or query pending alarms, so that way we can actually see what time the alarm is set at and check the weather against that timeline. So if we're waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, then we can check what is the weather for 8 o'clock in the morning. And if we're waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, obviously we're gonna look up the weather at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that is the plan. So let's get stuck in. All right. I've got like a lot of different screens on here, so I'm still a bit confused. I don't know if I'm going to use the computer to operate my my tasker, or should I use a the phone itself. It's a little bit weird to do it on it, so let's call it weather alarm. So this is the weather alarm, right, and this is the tasker screen. I hope you can see everything. So for this I'm using weather API. This is a key that I can just wipe out later, so it's okay. You're gonna need that key to get information from Opel weather map. So if you want to know where's the weather information, you have to use their API documentation to obtain this. Now, like I said, I already covered this in here, and for the most part we have everything kind of like here, right? So we can straight away do it. So the way it usually works, we're gonna create get weather. So we have a get weather. Cool. And now in the weather we're gonna have our variable set. Weather API, because we're gonna need that API key to play, right? Okay, so we're gonna be using this to obtain the data. Now, if you see on the website in here, then we have this is how you obtain that information. So you've got your call to API providing your latitude, your longitude, your key, and your units. And CNT equals 5. I don't remember what CNT was. 5. Let's have a look. Tells you how many intervals you want to download. 5 equals current plus 3 hours for 3 hours interval. So that's going to be quite useful for us, because that will cover us for most of the time. So we can get our location on Google Maps. So I'm going to get that as well. Or we can use if you don't want to get, you can get a location from Tasker. So you could have that set dynamically. So if you're traveling and you want this to work, then you would get something like, I have location here, right? Location, you could get location, and you can get that location from your coordinates from here, and that obviously returns our latitude and longitude, which are being then available in location. See? So for now, to keep it simple, we're not going to get a location dynamically, because otherwise we'll be adding features forever, right? Can I? Whoa, there's a massive delay with that. Okay, right. So I'm going to set another variable. So didn't want to do this. I wanted to do this. Set a variable, and set a variable here. So gonna be lat, and say 52. For now, I'm gonna update it in a second, and longitude, same again. We're gonna grab this variable set. Longitude is 1.2. Okay, I'm gonna fill that in a second. Let me just grab information from the maps. For security, I'll do it outside of the screen. Oh, now we can get a location from here. So this is our latitude. And this is our longitude. or maybe other way around. I never know. We'll know very quickly. So yeah, so we are going back to my tutorial now, and we're just going to grab that URL. One thing to check always when you're following tutorials like this, including mine, is if the API hasn't changed. So API documentation is available in here. You can see we are using hourly forecast 4 days, 30. We have a current weather data, so it's going to be here. And you can compare the API calls with what I've provided on in the tutorial as well, just to make sure everything is on point. Those things can change and improve, and obviously I don't monitor APIs for various services, and unless someone's going to tell me, hey, this API changed and I'm no longer obtaining the data, I won't have an opportunity to update it. So we're also going to have a new HTTP request in use, so let's get stuck in with this. So we need now call the weather, so HTTP request. Previously was get. It's you know, it's old version of doing it, but you can make a HTTP request now. So we're still doing a get request because that's what it requires, and we need to fill my URL. So that's wrong paste apparently. How are you all doing? I have so I'm just going to do like this, and we need to substitute our latitude and longitude in here. So hello XYZ, cześć, and hello Chris and Adam. I thought the volume was just me. Can you boost your volume? Yeah, sure, guys. Give me 1 sec. Open sound settings. Device properties. How about that? Is that better now? Let me know if that's better. It's looking. Maybe move mic a little bit towards me. Now my microphone is dropping. Come on. Okay. Is that better? I hope that's a little bit better now. And zoom in the browser. Okay. Okay, here you go. So in here, so we were filling in app IDs here. So let's go longitude, and we're gonna stay the same. We just need API key, which goes in here, and that was weather API, I think that's what we use for API. Okay, no problem, thanks for letting me know. So that is our call. Now that's gonna be available, our output will be in the HTTP data, I think. Yes. So let's have a quick check if everything's alright. We're just gonna get Flash. Flash is the best option to quickly check something. So you get Flash, then you click it, and we have data here. If we set everything correctly, we should get something on the screen. No. Okay. So what we did in here is probably URL has changed. So let's quickly have a look. So API open like. Let's see here what we have. 2.5 data, weather query, city. I have a longitude and latitude, so I'm just checking. I could use for the city as well. You see, you can have it in here. You can have it in a city if you want. But and ID, but there was a geographic coordinate, so let's double check if my call is in here correct. So we have double check the variable spelling, latitude, longitude, and yeah. So API open weather map org /data 2.5. and then forecast, and we have a weather here. So that part has been changed. So this is what we need to change. So you see, it's something that I'll need to update in my tutorial. So here it's not forecast, it's weather. Weather. Okay, and that should give us some. Unable to resolve no address associated with the host name. Is it still because of the HTTPS? Because this is not listed in here. Let's have a quick browse as well. I think I've got everything else correct. No? Latitude, longitude, API key. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna just checking for anything else. Yeah, it should be alright. I'm just going to replace this really quick. Okay. Oh, I know what might be a problem. I don't think it's likes. I don't think it's gonna like the URL. What's it called? The percentage. I reckon that's gonna be my problem. To confirm this, I'm just going to I opened the wrong thing. To confirm this, I quickly gonna open my notepad and double check something. So here's my notepad. Here's my and I quickly paste the original information without the variables. I think we just have to compose this first before we're gonna pass it. So let me grab the latitude in here. And longitude. And API key. I'll show you in a second how to do it. Copy. I shouldn't be copying it, I should be copying here. Select all. Okay, now that I have it copied, it should work. They're always fun and frolic. Okay, so let's make a call with this. Invalid API key. Okay, at least it's working. What did I do wrong? Is my API expired or something? My API key. Inactive. Do you want to activate the key? Yes. Okay. Okay, this has that regenerated. Oh, is it the same? I hope it's the same. Does it take some time? It shows that it's active right now. Why it's not? I'm just going to recheck the key on here, just to make sure. It feels much longer in here. I don't know why. It's C59. No, but it ends the same way, so it should be the same key. I don't know. It maybe take a little bit longer to activate. Let's have a look. Value, please. Okay, so let's generate a new API key test. Generate new one. See if this is gonna help us. Invalid API. Why? No, that's clearly something's wrong right now. Why it gives me an error right now? Why is it complaining? It's when it says that it's a valid API key. Basically, it's, you know, it reaches the server, it passes the information, but it's not. API doc. One more time with feeling. So we're passing by here, right, by the location. Did I miss something in pre-formatting this? Let's have a look. Weather, latitude, longitude, and app ID, and then API key. We have like extra spaces or something that it doesn't like. No, it doesn't. App ID. No, it feels like everything is correct. Anyone's got an idea, guys? Because I do not. Let's exit the task. Let's go again. Error 401. Open with a error 401. Do we have a search? No. Search in API docs? No. Somewhere? I don't see it. Free plan. 44 scores. Oh, that's why. Look at this. Something has changed. Hourly forecast is not available. Daily forecast, they've changed what you can query. That's why. I'm sponging on a free plan. So let's have a look what we can do about it. What we get free. Current weather. So basic weather dashboard. But it's listed here, current weather. So that's what I'm doing. This is a current weather. I'm calling from that, right? So why? My services. Let's have a look. Free plan. 6 calls per minute. 60 calls. 3-hour forecast. 5 days. Okay. All right. So let's have a look at that forecast. 4 days. 1 API call. All the hour data from the 5-day 3-hour forecast. I can do this one. So we have a forecast instead. Let's try that just to see if it's working. I think I'm limited on my plan, which is annoying. See, those joys of doing stuff. Forecast. And we can do this by our location. Can we? API, yes, we can. Same thing. Okay, so hopefully this is gonna work now. Ah, there you have it. Okay, so now that we figure out this bit, we can process the data. Now, in HTTP request, there is I think option to process some of it. I remember query parameters, directory to save, timeout, trust and certificate, all these cookies, structure output. So we can structure. It's already structured, right? So if the output is either JSON, HTML, and like, enable this option. We have that's a JSON output. You'll see that if we're gonna copy this. If you want to, for example, the easy way to do it, and I love doing this, is if you enable your clipboard sharing, then what you can do, if you just want to see which data you want to work with, is to just go with this. So you can go like that, go add clipboard, set clipboard, set clipboard, and add it to HTTP data as well. And now it's going to be in my clipboard, which means when I do the call, I can share this in here. Oops, come on. Why my clipboard isn't sharing? Perhaps because I'm not logged in. It's joys of having multiple accounts. Okay. Now I should be able to get information from clipboard. Yep. No. Good old Join, he's having a hiccup. Join doesn't like multiple users. Now that I have it here, there you have it. So I have it in here, and there's a plugin to JSON, show format JSON, and we have our weather. So this is how the weather data looks like. Can I zoom that in? Don't think I can. So I'm just going to go to one entry. So we have a weather. So we have clouds, for example. We can have a wind, we can have frost or whatever. There's main weather event. Then we have a description, there's an icon, and then we have data that we can base our alarm on. So for example, if we want to respond to clouds, we can either use overcast clouds, have a different events, or just use a regex to search for clouds and do it this way. And we're also gonna have a text is when this is applied. I don't know if you can see, but this is basically DT text, tells you the date of the forecast and all the information. This is also the forecast in the Unix time. Okay, so looking at this event, I'm just going to grab one of the events so I could just see the structure. List. So this is the information, and this is the list, and in the list we're gonna have all of the events. I'm just looking for weather clouds visibility, and it ends here. Yeah, and that's another event. So this is our full JSON that we are interested in. I'm just going to copy it, separate it here, and looks like this. I wish I could. Oh, I can zoom in. Okay, so now you can see it a little better. So this is our main event. This is formatted yet. Yeah, I can format this plugin JSON. Format JSON. Nice. Okay, so it's for now, so it's for 9 p.m. and apparently we have a clear coast, clear sky, so we're going to be accessing this. So this is weather.description, and that's our clear sky. And we probably want to have access to maybe a temperature as well, so that's going to be main, and then either feels like or temp max. 277. What sort of, that's in a Kelvin, isn't it? I think I should have specified the unit, guys. I should have specified the units, which we're going to do. So if you're going to go in here, in API documentation, you'll have all that information available. This is what we're doing in here, right? And the 3-hour forecast, JSON. So this is the sample, exactly what I've been showing you. And what we want to add is parameters, which is units. So units optional, and I want metrics. If you want imperial, then you can go for imperial. But I want normal units, so I would understand them better. So this is something I'm going to do. because in kelvins I would be very confused. So you can add it just at the end of it, and you do it like so. You put like this, then we had unit, or units, I forgot already. Which one? Units. Units equals metric. Great. And now when we're gonna make a call, we're gonna have a normal temperature. Okay, that's been copied here. So if I gonna select all delete. Yeah. Okay. Now, in order to access this data, we need to do a couple of things, right? So last time in my tutorial, I've been using, that was ages ago, I've been using AutoTools to read JSON. Now this is fixed and available in Tasker, but actually I think it's the first. Where's my mobile? Yeah. But it's the first time I've been actually gonna be using this. So we have all of this in our variable right now set. Going back, can I go back? Yes. So this is right now available in my HTTP data, and we can start accessing this data and write it somewhere. So what we want to do is we want to check what sort of alarms we have. We can store this in our, let's store this information for now. So let's store this information in current weather. It's going to be global one. Weather, and we're gonna set it to data, right? Okay, done, sorted. Structure is fine. So if you want to get information from, let's say, Flash, let's do another Flash in here. You could do something like that. Current weather. Dot, and what we are interested in, let's say we are interested in the next weather main or description. Let's go for description because it's going to be less, I guess, or maybe. So you could go like that, then sorry, here, weather. What was that? That was description. Description. And that would give us a weather description for one of the events. That's in a list, so we need to access the list. Then in a list we need to find the list with the time, and then we can access this. So we need to make sure we're looking in a correct list. Checking. Can tell you what temperature is below 0 in the severity of a headache. Yeah, that's fine. Are you emulating mobile or directly programming a phone from the computer? No, I have a, what is it called? AirDroid app, like one of those things. So it just casts, I can access it from my mobile as well as on the computer. So I've enabled the AirDroid keyboard, and I can just, do both at the same time. Okay, so now what we need is we need to get that information for a specific time. So now that we know how we can store the information, we're going to get back to this. This is not ready yet because this is not going to populate anything, so I'm just going to disable it for now. We need to figure out what is the next alarm. So let's go next alarm, because we need to know when we're going to be displaying that. Alarm, yeah, that's correct. So what is query alarms? Alarm, cancel, gentle alarm, show alarms, set alarm, test next alarm. Okay, and let's have a look what it's gonna show us now. So let's go Flash. So what we need a time on the next, hours to the next alarm, minutes to the next alarm, month, package, seconds, and time in milliseconds, probably what we want. either this one or this one. No, let's see if this is shaving us milliseconds, then we don't have to divide by 1000. No, this is just showing you we want this. This is gonna work for us a little bit better, I think. Yeah, this is a time, Unix time in milliseconds. So basically at that time we're gonna wake up. That's my next. Do I really have a next alarm at 5? Is it really? It's really a thing. Why? What did it show in there? Because now I am slightly confused because when I switched to the time, right? When you've seen that, I was like, that was at 5 o'clock. I don't have an alarm at 5 o'clock. Yeah, 5:50. Like, is that reliable alarms right now messing me up or something like that? Because there's nothing in here for alarms. Yeah, looks like reliable alarms are messing me up in here. But that's not. I completely forgot that is the thing. Oh, damn it. You can kind of like you can kind of see your comments, guys, and like just try to rescale this. Maybe now chat window is gonna pop up a little bit better. So looks like reliable alarms is being a mess, but we can go past this. I think there is I have an auto alarm plugin. Was it auto alarm? One of those, right? Let's have a quick look what we have. Alarm here. Yes, install. That's good to have a subscription for things. Okay. Okay, that's more like it looks like this is in 2 days, so on Monday that should alright, that should be okay, so we can use auto alarm for that. Okay, yeah, no restrictions. There was something in the test. Okay, and let's go back to Tasker, and in Tasker we're gonna next alarm, so we're gonna do plugin and auto alarm configuration. Yes, okay, primary task, minutes difference, optional number of auto alarm. Okay, so day of the week, I want times milliseconds to the next alarm, no. Cumulative minutes to no. Raw next alarm variable gotten from Android, so I can do either raw formatted ISO time since epoch of the time the alarm will go off. We can either the timestamp. We want timestamp. So that's gonna be timestamp. Small. Right, see? Okay. This will not work correctly. If I needed to do it, I forgot to read this. Okay, so we have to. Okay, can we do it without it? Because if we're gonna do this and then we're gonna add a new task, disable That's next, set alarm, show alarms, cancel, volume gentle. What was it called? What was in this? With set tasker preferences, that's the action. So let's go set tasker preferences. Okay, and we want to do reliable alarms. Use reliable alarms to never. And then we want to copy this and enable it after paste. Paste and well, not always. Okay, so this way we're gonna be only queuing this, and I'm gonna do wait action just for wait. Let's give it 5 seconds. So what it's gonna do, and that was a different variable, and that should give me a correct information now. Can't use the keyboard on my so that was NA. No, that was not NA. Something else. Let's. NA time. Okay. Okay. We'll prove with it working. I didn't say anything. That will prove if it's working. So it should disable reliable alarms, then wait a couple of seconds, test my alarm, flash it, and then enable it again. Let's see. $5.50. It didn't. Oh, that was a time to next alarm, wasn't it? But still, that shouldn't. Yeah. It doesn't like me, this. Let's okay, so let's can't do it like this, sorry guys, I just need to. So NA time, so that's what we should test, the next alarm time, NA time, that's okay, and that should work. It should give me Monday 7 o'clock, 5:50. This makes no sense. Is it locale not set correctly? That's why. Because I have 650, which makes more sense right now. Let's see if I'm gonna set to 651. Right, and it'll do the same. I'll see, maybe it's a locale that messes me up. Yes! The time zone is messing me up, guys. It's the time zone is messing me up right now. So it's discovering correct time to the next. So that's gonna work. I don't need auto alarm. I can disable it. I can do this in milliseconds. So _ms, and that's gonna give me a correct timestamp now. But the one thing that I need to bear in mind that my time zone in here. Let's add it. This is 1 hour. Early. Okay, so I'm gonna remember. So this one here, it's not giving me correct time zone right now. Not sure why, but it's not. So we're gonna deal with this when it comes to that. But we now have a Unix time, which we can save as. So we can actually process this since we know it. So we can go variable set next alarm. And that's gonna be our this one divided by 1000. Now what happened? MS divided by 1000 because it's in milliseconds, and oh no, we're keeping actually. Is it? Is it gonna be? Oh no, because in here on the notepad you'll see that this is not in milliseconds. This is in seconds. So we want this to match, and this is showing me 1 hour early. So we want add 1 hour in seconds, and that is 3,600 seconds, right? And that will give us already offset. You can sort it out in a different way, but right now we're being lazy. So that should, when I do this and go to my variables, use math was not selected. You can tell I'm rusty. Do maths, thank you. Okay. So this is our time. Let's copy that. If I'm gonna go and see, check unique time. That's not. So it shows you Monday 6. I don't know if you can see it. So I've added in here, I've added here 3 zeros to multiply that by 1000, so I could have milliseconds, and it shows you that this is 6:51. That's my alarm, right? Remember, I had this in here, 6:51, just to check. That's the alarm, so we have a correct timestamp for that. Excuse me, and a little bit of coffee. Okay, so now that we have this, we have alarms, we need to now find correct place in our JSON, right? Remember, we had the current weather that's going to store all our weather, and since this is a JSON, we're going to be looking through this, and we're going to be looking for the entry that has a timestamp near. Now that timestamp is every 3 hours. So we have how to do it the best way. Because we need this timestamp we have from alarm to be first we need to decide, are we acting on the weather forecast prior to that date or after? So for example, if our timestamp, if our weather forecast is at 9 o'clock, right, and it's 3 hour time, so the window is from, let's say, from 9 till 12, and that's our forecast. And if we are waking up at, let's say, at 8, do you want to use a forecast from 9 till 12, or do you want to use from whatever to 9? Right, obviously I think it's better to have that forecast that encapsulates this time frame. So we're going to be looking at the time frame that is prior to our timestamp and the time frame that is after our timestamp from the alarm. So in this case, if I'm waking up at 6:51, I'm going to be looking at, what is it, at 6, so from here to here, so from 6 to 9. So I want let's collapse this, the rest of it. So I want to find this. I want to find the DT where my number is bigger than DT there's this DT obviously, and is smaller than the next one, but obviously not the next one. I want to find that. So how do we do this? Let's think about this for a second. That sounded much easier in my head. Now I'm actually trying to figure out how to do this. I'm actually a little bit stumbled. Okay, so I know what we're going to do. Because this is a JSON, and because we have all the conditions, we can meet the first condition where and pick the object in which DT is smaller than our alarm. In this case, we always gonna end up in a correct object, right? Because in here DT is gonna be bigger than our alarm. Smaller. We want. Am I doing it? Like our alarm needs to be bigger than the first time our alarm is bigger than our DT. That's what we want. So the first time our alarm is bigger than the DT, this is the object we want to deal with. That's how we're gonna do it. Who is this guy? Why he's so smart? Yeah, right. I've been up since 6 o'clock in the morning today, so my smarts aren't very sharp right now. But that's how we're gonna do it. So how do we search through JSON in Tasker? I'm glad you asked, because we're gonna discover this together, unless you've got an answer already. So we need a action that's gonna go through our I recognize you, Ratchet guys, from your sarcasm, which is always welcome and always funny. I love it. So we need to, we're gonna do it in this task? No, this is gonna happen when we're gonna run those two one after each other, and then we can actually have it in the next task. So let's have it in the next task, which is set weather. Oh no, set the ringtone. Tone. Okay, it's my pleasure. So we know that we're gonna be reaching to current weather, where it's everything. Now, if someone can remind me or tell me, test variable, convert variable query, maybe. No, that's not the way I want. I know what I want to do. I'm just looking for the tools to do it. So basically, this is an object. It's not an array. Now I need to search through the object. Simple match regex. No, not yet. Oh. Well, actually, I'm looking to get search through a JSON. I remember I did it somewhere. Where did I do it? Where you search for you search for a specific key in JSON, and then I could use it with a JavaScriptlet, I guess. Load it to a JavaScriptlet, then I could search the key and find the first instance where I have that value. Maybe unless there is any other options to do it, I could do it with a JavaScriptlet, I think. Because what was it? That was in my home heating. I'm gonna go to home heating. I'll show you that this is exactly what I did in my home heating system. So in here, this is for an array. So I can look up through an arrays and look for the keys that's gonna find, match my keys. But instead of comparing them, I'll be obviously checking if the value is bigger, and then once I find the first one, I can just escape that. Okay, let's see if Ratchet guy is correct about this. So cancel this. Cancel this. We need to fill in the get weather so we could actually have the data, because we not run this yet, right? No, it's like, okay, so let's fill this. Now we have the data to work with. It's here. It's structured already. So profile tasks. So now let's see. Variable set. I set output, and you say current weather like this. don't have a search term as such. We're looking for a value, so we need to treat it as an array. So basically we want to the output is either JSON enabled easily read this context via dot or square bracket notations. That's fine, but I don't know where. I need a loop. Can I automatically can I read the JSON as, the question is, can I read the JSON instances as a loop? If I have a square bracket notations, I could, for example, if there's a value output variable, it contains a JSON from output info or output info to get the value of the info field. That's fine, but I need to get all of them into a list. Then check which number I'm looking for, and then I can access it. That's the problem. So, like what you're saying right now, that's fine, because once I get that output, I could just do this like this, and then my time would be like time I found, and I could find that object here. That would be no problem, but I still need to iterate through entire, because I have I have output in here, right? So for each data entry, I need to check, is this one's bigger? No. Is this one's bigger? Is this one? And so on and so on. Once I've found this condition, then I can access this. I can get that value, and then I can substitute this value here, and then I'll get the answer. Yeah, I want start JSON to be an array, but can I? Was it auto tools? Honestly, I've not done this in ages in next alarm. I think I'm gonna go with a scriptlet instead, because with a scriptlet I can actually I think I can actually do it exactly the same way as I did in here, which is just looking through, because I think this would work just fine with this. Let's Google this quickly. Yeah. Yeah, this is basically... okay, this is interesting. We can create an array like this. Can we have an array in the output then, in get weather? Can we? Wrong thing. Can we... What we can get from docs? There were a couple of different outputs. We can have XAML, we have JSON. Can I just cast this? Because that would be nice if we have an array, because arrays are slightly easier to work with in Tasker. So no, other formats, JSON. No, it doesn't show it. Okay, right. So what we can do a scriptlet like this, because this is what we're getting. Our weather data looks like this, right? Exactly like this. And we have our object, and the object has some small objects in it, and then we can search through these based on. So how does it, we are using object length. Can we access, no, because he has an array in here. He has an array of it. That's the problem. I don't have an array yet. I need to create an array first, and that is the problematic bit. So let's see what we have. how to get array from that. That's time parse. Okay, let's try this. JSON parse. Let's see. No, that's parsing to JSON. I want array. Okay, let's have a look. Data written as JSON array will be passed into JavaScript array. But we don't have, we strictly have an object. See, in here, we strictly have an object. We can iterate then the JSON as apparently shows that we can. If I well format a JSON string, you should be able to do this. We kind of don't, because our first bit we would have to slice, because the first bit in here, you'll notice that we have information of this, which isn't part of our... Oh no! List is an array. I've missed this. Oh, look at this. This is not... Oh, okay. I was thinking like, what am I missing? I'm silly. That's what I'm missing. This is a part of a list. So in here you'll see that this is a object in a list that is an array, and we can iterate by this. Finally, okay. Okay, I've missed this. So go back. Cancel. So what we need is first we want just a list, right? So weather.com list, and that's our array. That should be just our array. We can easily confirm this. Just get flash, not beep, flash, not beep, flash, and we're gonna have our output. Did my text just turn black? Yes. So that should be our, yeah. Now you see, now we can iterate through this. Okay, so now that we have an array, we can search for, or have a for loop for variable. It's gonna be our alarm time, isn't it? Am I doing it? I'm having a brain dead moment. Sorry guys about it. Which wasn't iterator. This was a variable one time to Apple. Okay, so and then in entry we can compare it. If our entry dot dt, because this is where our timestamp is needs to be bigger. If it's smaller, hold on, because so we need to catch it the first. That's gonna be the what we can because if we have like 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock, and we're aiming for 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, then our alarm is gonna be bigger than the first 3 o'clock. It's gonna be bigger than the 6 o'clock, and we want 6 o'clock, but it's gonna be smaller than 9 o'clock. So we want to have our alarm, we want to find this one, go back one, and apply from this one. Apply from this finger. Okay. So, if our dt is bigger than, that's greater than our value, which is our alarm. Our alarm was, what was our alarm variable, guys? Anyone remembers this? Okay, just gonna. What's the next alarm? Well, let's double check this. That's if. Let's have a look. Next alarm variable. Yeah, it was next alarm. Then we need to get index value from that 4. How do we get an index of that? Let's have a look. Do we have access to index? How do we get index from that? We can manually set it. We can just have a counter and do a counter manually, but that's not. I'm sure you can access the index. Okay, like manually you would do like variable, set variable, set count to 0. You would do that, then you would place this outside of the for loop. Oh, come on. Okay, and then you would have an if for each time you would have this one. Can I copy it? It's hard to do it with the mouse. So let's go like this, paste. Then you would iterate. Okay. Variable add value 1. Count. Great. We need to go up. So now, if this one is bigger than our alarm, then our index, and our variable set index, I can type index, is count -1, because it's 1 before. So this is my index. Now then I can access this previous value. That's gonna be entry So then I would have variable set to weather date my forecast. Forecast to, and then we have in here we have entry like this, and that would be index. Would that work? And note dt because we want entire object. Or we can straight away, I'll keep it as a forecast and then we're going to be accessing different values. I guess that's more or less, let's go end if, or stop, end if instead stop. And 4 and 4. And if, I think. No, so, come back, I don't need this. Otherwise we're gonna iterate, that will end for loop and exit. Okay, maybe that should work. Okay, oh yes, you can set the counter one. Yeah, that's why I did. Okay, so if I can access the entry like this, so it should give me, let's add a little bit of troubleshooting. So go to Flash, or go and display our count to see if the count's gonna be working. I think okay. But we can add it, you'll see the count. And we also can copy this and display index, so we would know we want here index. I think I misspelled the variable somewhere. Let's see. Index, index entry. Here I have a mistake. Index. Okay. Right. Now, if I was correct, that will give us a forecast to the day for the alarm that's been sent. So right now I have it 6:50, so you should have information for 6 o'clock. Shall we try? In A4 you need to reference its output with the parentheses. A4. Oh yeah, because it's an yeah. See, it's not done task arrays in ages. Thank you. What's malformed? What was the not running said ringtone? Task is malformed. Okay, so we need to it doesn't like my if conditions, and if, and I don't want to process it any further, so I need to like, do I have to put a stop, or or go? We can go to, I forgot there is a go to. We can do go to, and we'll do label, go, yeah, go here. Oh, look at that. That is, yes, I know there's no label. We're gonna make a label. Huh? No? Is it called Anchor? this is a this is a lazy way of doing this. So come on. Nah. Alright, that way it's gonna go to 14th. Right? See? Okay. Let's rock. I shouldn't be having this out of flash. I should suppress that one. So we're gonna suppress this one. Now, do we have anything? Forecast isn't set, so we've messed up something. That's okay, we're gonna fix it. Okay, we kind of get stuck in here on the entry item. Is item correctly do we need to have a global variable in there? Is that what we're missing? Current weather dot list. Let's instead just have it as a set variable. Variable set list, and that's gonna be my entry. No, not this one. Why I wanted us? I completely forgot. It was output current weather dot list. That was it. And list like that, right? Yeah. That way we'll see if it's being assigned correctly. Okay, so we have our here, our list, and that should be our array, right? Don't see any immediate problems. So each time we should have this, and we were looking at DT. No, that should be alright. So what are we missing? We're missing something. So that works for entry, which is our output. We never get to this point. It's our for loop doesn't want to get triggered. That's not structure. Oh no, that's fine. We can structure it. So that doesn't flash us. So for some reason, our for loop doesn't work, right? Yeah. Go to is in if. Because it should flash as a 0 first and then as a 1 on now. This, oh no, maybe like this. This one should be after as well. After our that should be like this. But still, something wrong with our loop. Do we need brackets for this? Because outputs, I don't think. Let's see. Okay, now it worked once. Do we have anything? We have a forecast not set. So my output isn't seen as an array right now, that even though it has a R. Ah, okay. Because I know what happened. If you take a look at the list in here, it starts as a JSON array. So it's actually it's not a comma separated list. So we still have a brackets in here. So we need to change that into a comma separated list, which means we need to remove the brackets from that. So we can either trim it or out of curiosity, before we just to confirm this, because that's going to be, I think, quicker to do it like this. I'm gonna delete this. I'm just gonna manually remove the brackets. Yes, that's fine. I'm gonna go to set ringtone. Now I'm gonna suppress this one. And now try it. New. Yeah, and then I need to go and correct this one, because now this is an array. Did we get anything in the forecast? No. Yeah. It doesn't like me. Okay, again. No. It still doesn't like that as a comma separated list. That is the issue right now. So we probably need to get that converted from an array to a JSON array to comma separated list. Did I delete it from a correct? I didn't delete it from a correct thingy. I'm stupid. That would work. Let's do with list, because our list is being saved. So let's do, instead of output, let's do list, because that was the local variable and I didn't have access to it. So now if I delete this, the brackets, the square brackets from here, and then suppress it, it should work. Tiny little things, come on. Okay, save that. Yes, okay. Task, ring, and suppress this, because it's already set. Nothing. How to do it to Tasker, guys? You can change JSON to CSV. Can I? Will be in convert here, variable convert, HTML, date, seconds, feet, URL. No, not here. Let's see, simple match regex pattern. No. Parse time format. It needs a better way to search for it, like this. multiple variable set, set structure variable type. CSV. Now here our list, right? Structure type to CSV. Now I'm gonna move this up here. Yeah, the camera searches me. Okay, so that should look for CSV. If that's a CSV, then here, I think we can do this now, like that. And I removed the, there is no more brackets in here, yeah, okay. So, will this work? Didn't like this. So variable structure type. Isn't that what it was? Yeah. It's a OBS OBS bot. Here. This one. Okay, going back. What it didn't like, structure type, CSV, name a list. Do I have to get my things back? Maybe. Let's see, let's unsuppress this. And let's run it. No. It definitely doesn't like the... Let's have a look if we have other options. In here, structure type. Non-auto JSON, HTML, CSV. So it's by default it's JSON, right? If I'm forcing CSV, it should drop, it should look into the comma separated values. So I was deleting the brackets, but it didn't, it gave me errors. Did I delete the brackets incorrectly or something? You know what, I'm just going to, no, it looks okay, so that's correct. It's gonna be something silly. I know the idea is not bad. It's a good idea to approach this way, but there's something silly that right now I'm missing. So let's not suppress this one. Yeah. The list does give me more information. The list content is not compatible. As you can see, it didn't remove the last in here. It didn't remove the last thing, the last bracket. Oh, look at this, guys. The bracket is back. Why? I was pretty sure I deleted it. I was pretty sure I've deleted the last bracket. Interesting. First is removed, the second one isn't. valid JSON. Do you know you can access? Yes. Would you want to enable easy structure? Okay. So there's no brackets here. That's fine. Let's go to task. Let's go to set ringtones. Nothing's gonna override the list, right? Just change this to CSV and then run it. No, it still doesn't like it. But okay, this time it doesn't have a bracket at the end, at the front. No, it doesn't look like you have one. But it still doesn't like it. I think because inside, you see, I think it doesn't understand that I have a list of objects, and objects have commas inside, and they get confused. I think that's what it's kind of struggling with. Oh dear. Okay, so we need a workaround for this. Huh. Well, there's always JavaScript, right? Because I can parse it as like I did, like I was searching here how to convert JSON JavaScript to an array. Let's see. It's slightly different. So JavaScript, JSON objects into array. Okay, so. Because I can access these, I can look for this now, since I have a correct value, I can look for this now with scriptlet, with exactly the same thing I did in my Node-RED. I can use this function to look for it. So, if we were to do it with JavaScript, then we would have a variable, which is our list. I can't type. But literally I can't type. So I can't type like this far. I don't have a. I can't make. My enter's not working. What's going on? Can I just switch the keyboards? I can't switch the keyboards for some reason. Can I switch the keyboards here? Switch keyboard. Okay. Ah, see? Now it's working. So that equals this, right? And then we can see just like this. So find, we want to find a object which is called dt, where first object and index. Oops. And in a function we're gonna have our if now data is wants to look for wants to look on data dot dt, and that's supposed to be smaller, well no, bigger. Is it bigger? Bigger. So it needs to be bigger than our, let's add it here, alarm and that was next alarm. Okay. And if this is bigger, then return index. Oops. And that way, that will gonna give us a number in which position in this array we have our value. Now, since we're already in a JavaScriptlet, then it makes no sense to reproduce the rest of it in a tasker, because we had a problem with that array. We couldn't access the correct element. So we might as well access this in here, right? So that's fine. So let's do index -1, so we can straight away go to my data and then where's brackets? No, not this bracket. Data, and now index is the one that index is the one that's gonna contain our forecast. So obviously we can get dt, isn't it? dt, because that's what we want. So return is that it? So that should give us a number or dt value of the forecast that we need to use for our alarm. That is the case. I probably need to close that function. Am I missing anything else? Do I have to return a enable variable? I don't think so, maybe. I think that's the case. So that's gonna be instead of all of that. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Right. What did I miss? I missed something obvious. I didn't close the bracket, maybe? Data find. Here. Missing after argument list. If there's like one alarm once, and here I think I should have another one bracket. At the end of it. Okay. Okay, I think this is working fine for us now. Oh. I just need to retrieve this. How do I retrieve this from my? Need to set the variable. How did I do this? I had this in a time, I remember, in my tutorial. See, that's why tasker date. No, tasker HH. That's what I was doing. How do I? I can access it as a. I don't have to return it. So let's do var put equals this, and I should have flash output. Okay, fingers crossed. Right. Okay. I'll have to read into this a little bit more. Okay. I have, unfortunately, a train to catch. I'm collecting my partner in 15 minutes, so that took a little bit longer than I planned, but that's going to be a proper tutorial very soon, because this is something I wanted to recreate. But basically that's the next step I need to recreate, just to get the correct information, and that will give me, as I said, that will give me a very specific entry in that long log. And then we can easily access the weather.description, get that, and based on a couple of if conditions, we'll be able to merge our files and try with alarm. So that's definitely something I'm going to do very soon. So for now, unfortunately, I have to stop it, and it's a shame it took me a little bit longer to figure out things than I planned. well, that what happens when you do a live session. I didn't rehearse this. I was doing everything live, so you would know that I struggle just like you guys, and it just takes hard work and lots of googling and help from other people. Thank you, Ratchet Guy, to figure out. So this will continue. I'm planning to have Fridays evening on a more regular basis, and we're gonna split that between Node-RED, Tasker, and what else. So I'll try to set myself a calendar entry that we're going to have on a regular basis, and we're gonna have some sort of schedule, because I know a lot of people, ask for this to be more often a thing. Maybe even try a Home Assistant. I'm not promising anything yet, but maybe we'll try Home Assistant. But yeah, I hope you had fun. Let me know in terms of like technical aspects of it, whether anything you would change, and etc. Because I'm still experimenting. It's like first time I was using Streamlabs. I'm actually using Streamlabs this time. So this is my overlay right now. You should be able to see it. Oops. Yeah, I wanted to get into streaming a little bit more often, and that is the plan. Right, I need to go because otherwise my partner's gonna kill me if I'm gonna get late in picking up from the train. So I'll have to go, and yeah, keep in touch, guys. I hope you enjoyed that and you learned a thing or two, even though we didn't get that very far. But I promise that's gonna be a separate tutorial very soon. So, all right. Take care, have a good night, and you'll hear from me very soon because I've got a busy weekend of writing stuff that's gonna happen.